The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. An unexamined life is not worth living. I know that I am intelligent, because I know that I know nothing. He who is not a good servant will not be a good master. True knowledge exists in knowing that you know nothing. Wisdom begins in wonder. By all means, marry. If you get a good wife, you'll become happy. If you get a bad one, you'll become a philosopher. To find yourself, think for yourself. The greatest way to live with honor in this world is to be what we pretend to be. The secret of happiness, you see, is not found in seeking more, but in developing the capacity to enjoy less. The only good is knowledge and the only evil is ignorance. Wonder is the beginning of wisdom. Education is the kindling of a flame, not the filling of a vessel. The heaviest penalty for declining to rule is to be ruled by someone inferior to yourself. One who is injured ought not to return the injury, for on no account can it be right to do an injustice, and it is not right to return an injury, or to do evil to any man, however much we have suffered from him. These quotes reflect Socrates' emphasis on self-examination, the pursuit of knowledge, and the importance of virtue in leading a fulfilling life. Be as you wish to seem. Employ your time in improving yourself by other men's writing so that you shall come easily by what others have labored hard for. The greatest way to live with honor in this world is to be what we pretend to be. To move the world, we must first move ourselves. Let him who would move the world first move himself. Remember that there is nothing stable in human affairs, therefore, avoid undue elation in prosperity or undue depression in adversity. Regard your good name as the richest jewel you can possibly be possessed of. The first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself. Envy is the ulcer of the soul. He who commits injustice is ever made more wretched than he who suffers it. If you don't get what you want, you suffer. If you get what you don't want, you suffer. Even when you get exactly what you want, you still suffer because you can't hold on to it forever. Beware the barrenness of a busy life. Be slow to fall into friendship, but when you are in, continue firm and constant. I cannot teach anybody anything. I can only make them think. To know, is to know that you know nothing. That is the meaning of true knowledge. These quotes further illustrate Socrates' views on virtue, self-improvement, and the pursuit of wisdom. Contentment is natural wealth, luxury is artificial poverty. The easiest and noblest way is not to be crushing others, but to be improving yourselves. He is richest who is content with the least, for content is the wealth of nature. Sometimes you put walls up not to keep people out, but to see who cares enough to break them down. Prefer knowledge to wealth, for the one is transitory, the other perpetual. Strong minds discuss ideas, average minds discuss events, weak minds discuss people. When the debate is lost, slander becomes the tool of the loser. I am not an Athenian or a Greek, but a citizen of the world. The greatest blessing granted to mankind come by way of madness, which is a divine gift. He who commits injustice is ever made more wretched than he who suffers it. These additional quotes provide further insight into Socrates' thoughts on contentment, the value of knowledge over material wealth, the importance of self-improvement, and the nature of human interactions. Once made equal to man, woman becomes his superior. The way to gain a good reputation is to endeavor to be what you desire to appear. Worthless people live only to eat and drink, people of worth eat and drink only to live. He who has knowledge spares his words. To find fault is easy, to do better may be difficult. Ignorance, the root and stem of all evil. He who is not a good servant will not be a good master. Education is the kindling of a flame, not the filling of a vessel. The greatest way to live with honor in this world is to be what we pretend to be. The shortest and surest way to live with honor in the world is to be in reality what we would appear to be. All human virtues increase and strengthen themselves by the practice and experience of them. These quotes continue to reflect Socrates' emphasis on virtue, self-knowledge, and the pursuit of a meaningful and examined life. I was really too honest a man to be a politician and live. He who commits injustice is ever made more wretched than he who suffers it. If you want to be a good saddler, saddle the worst horse, for if you can tame one, you can tame all. Not life, but good life, is to be chiefly valued. I cannot teach anybody anything. I can only make them think. He is a man of courage who does not run away, but remains at his post and fights against the enemy. Let him who would move the world first move himself. The greatest way to live with honor in this world is to be what we pretend to be. The unexamined life is not worth living. He who is not a good servant will not be a good master. These additional quotes delve into various aspects of Socratic philosophy, from courage and honesty to the importance of a good life and the value of self-examination. Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. Think not those faithful who praise all thy words and actions, but those who kindly reprove thy faults. When desire, having rejected reason and overpowered judgment which leads to right, is set in the direction of the pleasure which beauty can inspire, and when again under the influence of its kindred desires it is moved with violent motion towards the beauty of corporeal forms, it acquires